This is Suspenders Unbuttoned, a podcast where friends talk with friends about TV, movies, and books.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Suspenders Unbuttoned podcast. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Julie, and we're excited to have Carlo Marks with us today. Welcome.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Yes, we're so happy to have you. Thanks for getting back to us and scheduling this. So you are here because The Wedding Veil Inspiration airs tomorrow night on Hallmark.
Mm-hmm.
So we wanted to have you on and just talk a little bit about your role in the film.
Great. Okay. I play Matteo, who is the cousin of Paolo. I think that's his actor.
It is.
That is
life
his
name and his character name.
Yes, they're all the same. It's easier that way.
Yeah. They should just called me Carlo too.
Right?
But yeah, I play his cousin. I'm from Miami. This one takes place in Chicago, I think. And I come up from Miami to help him in his lace shop. And then there's a veil. And it works its magic.
We've already seen a preview where there's like a tipping moment, and then there's
yeah. That's my introduction to the veil, which I'm sure is very famous by now. But yeah, that was my introduction in real life and in the movie too. Actually.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah.
I think this is the first. It seems like this is the meet cute, so it feels like. This is the first meet cute over. No, I'm lying because Allison's character and they met over the veil too. I was thinking it was the first meet cute touching the veil. Scratch that.
But it's super cute. It was a cute video, cute introduction. So your cousins, but your cousins coming from Italy. So you're coming up to help with the lace shop then?
Yeah, we're cousins, but I guess I'm the American side. I don't maybe I speak a little Italian, but I don't speak with an strong Italian accent like he does. And he needs help because he has to go back to Italy for some stuff. So but even before that, he's just kind of overwhelmed with it all. And I'm looking for a change of pace, and why not leave sunny Miami for brutally cold Chicago in the middle of the winter, huh? It's a great
right? Yeah, that's what you should do for sure. Go to Chicago, not Miami, right? Don't let it, whatever. Are you? I don't even know where you're calling us from. Are you someplace warm or someplace cold?
I'm in New York, which has been unseasonably warm, but now it's kind of more. Normally it's chilling up a bit now.
Yeah, I'm in Rhode Island, so practically neighbors. It rained all day, and then it's going to get really cold tonight. I wonder if it's
probably the same here. Does that mean snow?
No.
Okay.
Freezing rain?
Just rain.
Just rain.
Just rain.
Which really is dreary.
Yeah.
We're dreary here too, so
Where are you, Julie?
Catherine and I are both in Minnesota, and we have deep snow here. So it's up over the mailboxes. We've had more than a year's worth of snow already. So
oh my goodness! Wow.
It's like, stop. We're done. Let's move on to spring.
Yeah, no kidding.
So we're like Chicago for poor Matteo. Moved from Miami to Chicago.
Yeah.
It's an amazing city. There's a lot of industry and trade happens out of there. I'm assuming that's why they end up in Chicago. But magic goes wherever the veil goes, right?
That's right. Yeah. The veil doesn't discriminate, I think. Yeah.
So has Matteo heard of the magic of the veil before he touches the veil?
I think he must have a little bit. Yeah. I think it I don't know how much detail that Paolo went into telling him about it, but I know that I think that Casey's character, she was well informed. So
okay,
yeah,
she knows,
because she's trying to steer clear of it.
Okay, that'll be really cute then.
Yeah. She's got a really funny scene where there's a lot of physical comedy that she
Okay, that's fun. That's really fun that she's trying to stay clear of it. That's cute, actually. That's a lot more fun.
It is fun. Yeah.
Super fun. Hallmark dropped a TikTok today. Because they're cool like that. Which was pretty fun. It's when Lacey's character Avery and Allison's character, trying to think of her, Emma and Tracy. I'm like, I have to shuffle through them in my head. Tracy come in, and they ask if Peter, if the baby's with her, and she's like, no, he's home with Peter. He's got a keg and a pool game and something like that going on. Your character's like, yeah, I want to go to the party.
Oh yeah, I remember that line now. Yeah.
We were just laughing, like, the guy who has a mansion is getting a keg. No, you're gonna get some craft beer, but
Well, also just the fact that is in a Hallmark movie is
it's kind of fun.
Is different, right? I think we don't talk about kegs on Hallmark.
No, but they're kind of loosening that now. I
think
you can have a glass of wine, you can have a beer,
Right.
Maybe not a cake stand yet, but yeah.
Maybe next year.
Well, yeah, maybe 10
whatever. It'll be fun. I feel like, and we're watching The Veil, and we know that that's the only veil because we had Geraldine on after the first 3 movies were.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and she talked about making the veil.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's one veil, and normally when you're talking about props like that, there's a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
And in this case, they're now filmed 6 movies with one veil.
Yeah, pretty impressive. And they do kind of keep it, safe. It is the star of the show, obviously. And it's got some like embroidering on it.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of cool. And it looks beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah, no, because it's Italian lace. She actually bought this very expensive like jacket with train Italian lace and cut the veil out of it.
Oh, wow.
We were so then when I hear scene where I'm like, wait, not the veil.
Don't touch it.
Don't touch the veil. So that's super fun. Was it fun to jump into these movies, or was it harder when this is like everyone's half of everyone's been already involved in the movie? They've all done it together, or was it kind of fun to jump into something established like that?
Well, it was kind of different for me because it was with a crew that I just worked with, and the producer, who's a good friend of mine, Beth Grossbard, she brought me on, so I know her very well. I knew Lacey. We'd worked together before, but I knew the whole crew because we'd just done a Christmas movie in the August or something. So that was like, I didn't have to, remember everybody's names and stuff. I knew who everybody was. I'd worked with the director a million times.
Yeah, Terry.
Yeah. So I didn't know the cast, but they were, besides Lacey, who was, lovely. So it was kind of a mix for me. So because they'd done so many together, they had a second hand, but also I did feel comfortable coming into that environment. So it was like the best of both worlds. Because with these movies, it's always, you never know who you're going to get. Mm-hmm. Usually, thank goodness, they're always pretty nice people in the Hallmark world. So it's just exciting to see how you're going to gel with them. Because you spend so much time. They're short periods, days, or not short days, but only 3 weeks, but they're long, intense days. So it really helps if you like the people you're working with.
Yeah, I imagine.
Big time.
So, all right, did we see this right? So A Kismet Christmas, that was your Christmas movie this last year. And Lori Wilde is listed as a writer for
on Kismet.
That movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And she is also the author of the books that the Veil movies are based off of.
Oh, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what we think, anyway.
Oh.
According to IMDb.
I thought the Kismet one was a Betsy Morris script, or maybe she helped her with it.
Well, it has them both listed.
It's got them both on it. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So unless she wrote another novel that it's based off, but the other ones specify that she's an author of a novel that inspired the films. And this one, she's listed as a credited writer. So I thought that was interesting.
Yeah. Well, you're going to have to get her on to talk about that.
Yeah, that would be fun. Be a lot of fun.
Right. And so Kismet Christmas, you worked with a lot of this crew. That's kind of fun. And you worked with Terry a bunch. We had Terry on. Was that yesterday? We had Terry on, not last night. And we had met him and Ruby in Chicago. We met them in Chicago in the beginning of December. So
I love how you say Chicago, Julie. Are you doing it with the Chicago accent, or is that just the Minnesota accent also that bleeds over into Chicago accent?
Chicago. It's very Midwest. Yeah, Chicago. Yeah. I'm in Minnesota. We're right next to Scotty. We can do all. You got to go past Scotty to get into Chicago. So.
There it is. That's really good. Okay.
Go through Scotty. Past the Cheeseheads. We'll do all the regional things.
Wow. Yeah. My dad was actually born in Wisconsin, so I've never been.
You've never been? It's beautiful, actually. No. The northern end, a lot of lakes, Lake Minnesota, and
yeah.
So, get over to Chicago. You kind of got to say it like the old SNL skits.
That's what I always think of. The Bears.
The Bears.
Yeah. That's whenever I have to do Chicago accent and try to sink it.
Yeah, because it's a little different than like the Minnesota, Wisconsin area, North Dakota.
Yeah. And it kind of bleeds into that Canadian accent above there too, which is its own thing too. Yeah.
And northern Minnesota does that too. Northern Wisconsin bleeds that way too as you head north. Gets a little Fargo-y, like you're watching the movie. Oh, like you're watching the movie. So, but that's fun. It's fun. So you get to pretend like you're in Chicago, but you filmed in Victoria Island.
Yeah, Victoria.
Yes, but it did snow one big day, so that made us feel like we were in Chicago. Yeah, very much.
No, Terry and
actually it was Lisa who said it in the comments.
Yeah, the other producer. Yeah, she was just like, tell them about the snow. And then Terry's like, I happen to have a camera up on a boom. And you're like, you happened? Mm-hmm. So then I started filming that.
Yeah.
During the big wedding scene, we think.
Yeah.
So might as well have some real snow to make it more magical.
I'm not sure if it worked seasonally, though. I think it was supposed to be spring or something. But I guess it can snow in spring in Chicago, right? Snow anytime in Chicago.
It can snow anytime. I don't know. Terry filmed it, so we'll see where it ends up.
Yeah.
They were excited about it. She said that she's pretty sure that Terry planned it. He made it happen. No. So it wasn't just a good coincidence. He made it happen.
I know. He's got a lot of power, but I don't know if he has that much power.
Like Terry says snow and it snows.
It was very magical, though, because I am from that part of the world, and it rarely snows that early in the season, and it rarely snows that much where it was sticking. So it was pretty magical, and it lasted about a day, and then it was all gone, but it was beautiful. Yeah.
Right.
So you're from that area?
Mm-hmm. I'm from Vancouver Island, which is close to Victoria. It's on the same island as Victoria, but I'm a little north and a little west, a little more remote. Yeah. Small town. Yeah.
Yeah. Everything looks so beautiful. So I'd love to go there someday.
It is. It's the most beautiful place I've ever been. Yeah, for sure.
Right. Someday we're going to get there.
Oh, yeah. We got it.
Weddingdale 7.
Yeah, that's right. The one with the keg stand.
We'll be the extras in the background.
We'll be at the party.
Right. Yeah.
We'll just be hanging out in the back by the bar.
So tell us, do you have a favorite scene or a favorite moment in this movie that we can watch for tomorrow night?
I think that one, the meet cute with the veil, that one's pretty fun. Casey and I have a lot of like set up this date for Emma and Paolo, and it's kind of like we're sneaking around and like break into her house, and that's kind of fun, like goofy comedy stuff. I don't know how it turned out, but shooting it was really fun.
Yeah.
And we had a lot of like silly energy together, so that was a lot of fun. Yeah, but you never know how it turns out. We'll see what Terry did with it. He put snow over it. So we'll see.
I bet it turns out great. Is there anything we can look for, like an Easter egg or just something for the viewers to look for as they're watching the film, like, or if there's like a favorite spot you shot?
Well, the kind of our last big scene, which was my last day of shooting, but Casey and I, it was pouring rain, so and I had to, so you can see, if you can tell if it's raining or not, see how well we did covering up the rain. That was the only really bad day, at least when I was there, where it was raining a lot. That's a little Easter egg. Is there anyone else?
Yeah.
No.
I feel like that, it's rainforest over there, right? So
that's right. Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
If you like the rainforest, you got to like the rain. So,
right. Gotta like the rain. Feel like we'll see if we can tell, because sometimes you're just like, well, I didn't notice at all, and sometimes you're like, it's pouring there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Or sometimes when you can see it.
Yeah. I know. I was watching a movie the other day and it was pouring, and this has to all be ADR because it was just coming down. Then I could hear it, and it was yeah.
Right. Sometimes though it's like perfect. They're in the first one or last weekend, so number 4 or whatever. At one point, Autumn's like walking and talking, and it's literally pouring around her, but it's actually pouring around her. And
that's nice. Yeah.
Yeah. So it worked out perfect. It's like she looks like she's in a different spot than everyone else because it's pouring on her.
That
right?
Happens. Like when it snowed, we were like, oh man, why aren't we shooting a Christmas movie right now instead of July? Like this is the time to do it. Come on, let's quick.
Right.
Let's write another script to it right now.
They always film those Christmas movies though in July. It cracks me up. It's like they're walking around with their winter coats wide open, and they're dying of heat.
Well, it must bug you the most because you know what real winter's like,
Oh, it drives my husband nuts. Actually, that's the one who drives him nuts. He's just
the unzipper jacket is my biggest pet peeve.
Yeah, really, yeah.
What about the fake snow?
What's that?
The fake snow drives him insane.
Fake snow, yeah, I know.
He's like
it looks good, but sometimes you can tell if it's depends. Yeah, sometimes they do really good job though. Yeah, there's some really good crews.
There's so many things. There's the empty cups.
Yeah, the empty cup drives me nuts.
Suitcase.
the empty cup, I don't understand that. I always put liquid in mine. Like that one's an easy fix. That's an easy fix. Yeah.
Otherwise, you don't handle it right?
Yeah. The suitcase I understand because you have to keep doing it. So if it's really heavy, then that is a pain. Yeah. But the cup, you can just keep drinking water. Yeah.
Right.
The way you just hold it is different.
And you don't need a ton, just some in there. It'll make the physics of the cup better. But that's pet peeves. Those are mine. 8 coats that fit in a tiny little carry-on suitcase.
Yeah, there's always so many coats.
We can't avoid that. We got to have the coats. You spoke to Geraldine. You know how important that is.
So they pull up a semi, and the main character gets like a carry-on.
Yeah.
Right? It's the best. It's the best part of that, right? So when did you guys shoot this movie?
November.
Okay, so it was chilly enough at that time, right?
Oh yeah. But it wasn't a full winter movie, so we were cold at some points. But a lot of my stuff was in the lace shop. We had some cool locations too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite location?
I think. Well, that last day was nice. We were shooting in a park, although it was raining so much. The lace was fun too. It was fun when there was like a big cast together and we were all hanging out. That's fun too.
Yeah, for sure. I can see that. That would be so much fun.
Yeah.
Right? To do that kind of stuff.
Oh, and also where we shot when it started to snow, that was the most beautiful location. That was cool. There was like chickens around and fruit trees and stuff like that. That was really neat.
So look for the chickens.
What's that?
Look for the chickens.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if they made it. I think there was some ducks and swans. There was like a little vineyard. I don't know if any of that made it, but it was cool to be around.
Sounds pretty. We did hear it's indoors.
Sort of, yeah.
Sort of.
Okay. Sorta.
Now I'm picturing like a white Christmas scene where like the doors are opened in the back and everybody's inside, but it's, you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's kind of like that. It's in a building that lets the outside in. That's how I'll tease it.
There you go. Yeah.
Perfect.
She lives over here. Swans, you say? Maybe the swans will make it in.
Stephanie wants to know, do you get to cook at all like David in this movie?
No. The closest I get is we go to a restaurant to try out some Cubano sandwiches, but I didn't prepare them. No.
Oh, Cubano sandwiches sounds really good though. Right? I think it's kind of fun. You said you get some lace shop scenes. I mean, that's clearly what Paulo's coming to the United States for a lace shop. So, so they had to like make a little lace shop, right?
Yeah, and the production team did an amazing job. They transformed the space. I don't know where they got all the lace and all the other things to put up, but it looked amazing. So yeah, those are some really great scenes, and I think there's quite a few scenes in there. All these beautiful dresses and tablecloths and whatever else you can make lace out of. Yeah, it was pretty cool. I don't know how they did that. It was incredible.
Yeah.
So does Mateo come from a background of lace as well? Is there like an American side? The American family, are they into lace as well? Or
no, not at all. He's a fish out of water, actually. He's just wanting a change of pace because of some heartbreak, and he comes there to help out, and he actually, obviously Paulo helps him a lot, and Emma, Autumn's character, gives him some tips too to help out too. So yeah, he knows how to sell, but he doesn't know anything about lace. And neither did I.
Fun.
You learn some things about lace while you were doing this?
A few things. I've since forgot them.
Whatever they wrote.
Yeah. Well, I learned how important it is in Italy. Maybe Paula was telling me that, or Terry was telling me that, like how revered lace is there, and how it's an art form, and there's all these different shops is it Burano? Is that where it was?
Burano, yeah.
Burano, yeah. So that was kind of interesting. I didn't know anything about that. Yeah, there's this whole industry of that. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I know very little enough about lace to know that the patterns are shop specific or family specific too. Yeah, that's about the extent of my lace knowledge base. But it's fun. I think it's fun because I think it will make a great, when we see the shop, it'll be fun to see all the pieces that make it look amazing.
Yeah, it looked pretty real to me just with the naked eye. So hopefully on camera it looks awesome on screen.
I'm sure it will. Yeah.
Right.
Let's shift gears a little bit, and we want to know if you could have any role in any old movie or series, what would you choose?
In an old movie or like I'd like to do like Jimmy Stewart's role in It's a Wonderful Life.
Oh yeah, well, that's awesome. How about something contemporary? What would you choose?
If I could do a contemporary,
anything.
What would I like to do? I think I'd like to do one of those like adventure movies where I'm outside for like 8 months out of the year and going location to location. So probably something like a spy movie or something like that where you keep moving and you're always outside. Yeah, that would be my jam.
Yeah,
that would be really fun actually. Right?
Yeah,
those don't film in 15 days.
No.
Yeah.
I'll commit to 10 months.
Right? Let's go. Feature film. Yeah.
Not a 3-week movie.
No.
Or 3-week budget.
Yeah, that's right.
Right.
A lot of fun. So what about So you've done series work and you've done, tons of these movie of the week type movies. What do you like about each one? Like, what's something different you like about them?
Well, I think about these movies of the week. They're quick and they're intense, so you're like fully immersed, and then it's done. You're exhausted, and then you can't remember what happened. So it's nice for that rush of it. I like that. I like that it's in different location, different people. With series, it's nice because you develop the character, and it kind of becomes, you're the boss of it eventually, and you get to decide what happens, almost more collaborative with writers and producers. And you can develop deeper relationships with the cast and crew usually. So yeah, I think that's how they differ and how they're both good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
It feels like the movies are like a little summer camp.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can be. Yeah, depending on when and where they are and who
And
you're
if
with.
you like the people.
If you like the people. Well, that's what they always say the benefit is. If you don't like the people, it's only 3 weeks.
Right.
But if you really do like the people, then, and which is, I usually really do like the people.
Yeah.
So it's tough because you got to say goodbye and you're like, oh,
Right.
we're getting to know each other. I really like you.
Right.
So I'm hoping as I do more of these that I'll get to work with the same people again. Because I really, there haven't been any duds really. So yeah, everyone's been so great.
Gotta love that. There's a question in the comment section, and Sheila wants to know if you watch your own projects.
Yeah, mostly. Sometimes I can't. It's a weird roller coaster of emotions when I'm watching myself. It's usually like, oh gosh, I'm terrible. This is really bad. Oh, okay, I'm not that bad. Oh, it's okay, I can watch this. So it's like, if I can get past that first part, like, then I watch it. Yeah. So it depends, but usually that's always the same thing. And it's also, when you film it, you're like, have ideas about what it's going to be like, and that's so not up to you as the actor. It's like what they choose, the music they put underneath. Maybe you thought you had a great moment on that line, but it's going to be on the other person's reaction. So you really have to relinquish expectations and control. So it's really a letting go process when you watch it, which is probably good for my ego and for my whatever. So so I watch some I can't watch.
I can see that though.
I could never imagine.
Yeah. There's a lot of actors that won't watch a single thing. I was just and I totally get it. But also, there's some that I think Lacey was saying that she watches it because you want to get better. So just from technique, and I think both things are totally valid. Yeah. Just depends who you are.
Right.
Yeah, I would say we get about half and half with that answer. Half the people we ask are like, no, I watch it, and the other ones are like, nope.
Yeah.
Not at all.
They're like, I did my piece, now somebody else will do their pieces with it. And so right, like you said, it's out of your control. So off it goes, right?
They do it and then let go of it, basically. We have another question from Stephanie, and she wants to know, are you interested in producing or directing or writing?
Yes, I am. I would like to start producing and maybe writing, especially, and I think in the Hallmark world, I'd love to get some stuff off the ground, because I where I grew up in a community theater, that's what my parents ran. So I come from, story making, and there's a lot of stories I'd like to tell, like from my child and from my small town, that I think would transfer well into that Hallmark universe that I haven't quite seen yet. So I would like to start doing that for sure. I think, because the more you do of these, you realize, you know what, I have a story that I think would fit in there. So great question.
Okay, I love that you literally grew up in a theater then, didn't you?
I kind of did. Yeah, it was cool. It was a little community theater, and they literally built it with and they came up from America, and that was their way to get immigrant status in Canada. So they had to do something nobody else was doing in the town, and they ran this little theater for quite a few years, you know, barely making any money. And
Right.
I would be there eating sawdust or running
Yeah.
the lights, and I was in a couple of the shows.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just a really magical environment to grow up in, you know, to see grown-ups
Right.
in these costumes and
Yeah.
doing this thing. And like, I never thought that I would be making a living doing it, but it's still the reason I do it. And even though when you do it on a bigger production, on a big TV show, I still have that seed of that theater. And I remember that there's a possibility of magic, you know, and that can happen, you know, at any time. So you just got to be aware of it or ready for it. And I think that's still why I do it, because I'm chasing that little spark, you know.
Yeah.
So
you grew up there, but when did it hit you? Like, when did you get the bug that you wanted to act?
I don't remember. So I guess very early, or I came out like that.
Just that's the way it's going to be. That's when, you know, I love a great community theater. That's the heart of a lot of people's theater experience. The first time they go to something is often at a community theater. I love that just woven into your story. I love your answers. I just came out that way.
Yeah. And there's something even, I mean, I've been to tons of professional theater. I've been on stage as a professional actor, but there's something different about when you go to community theater and you know the people on stage and the whole community is there, and there's no division between audience and performer. And that is like, you can't manufacture that, no matter, you know, who you got on stage. If it's, you know, Laurence Olivier or Hugh Jackman or whatever, there's something about seeing, you know, the guy that pumps your gas, or the baker, or the banker, or whatever.
Yep.
I know that person, and they're right there, and there's something different, and it's, you know, it's cheesy or whatever, but there is something magical about that.
Yeah, no, I don't think that's cheesy at all. Would you ever go back to doing theater?
Yeah, for sure. I've done, in the last couple of years, I've done some plays. I've actually gone back to that small theater, and I directed and was in and produced a couple plays, and then COVID kind of shut everything down. But I'd like to do that in the future for sure, because of what I'm saying. Yeah.
What plays did you direct?
I did a Patrick Shanley, and then I did one that's about a local woman named Cougar Annie, and it was a local playwright who I was close to, and it was about this woman who lived in the bush for 50 years and shot like 150 cougars and lived out in the bush by herself till she was 85 or something. And it was quite the story.
Okay, I love that.
Kind of cougar than I was thinking when you first.
No. Mountain lion. Yeah. But she was a real character. Somebody who would live in like the wilds in Minnesota, I would imagine that.
No, we have this legend, the Ripier lady, who was up in the Boundary Waters and literally lived up there by herself and hauled all of her junk up there. I'm like, I feel like there actually is a play written about her too. So I feel like it can go to your little theater.
I know. Yeah. It's kind of an archetypal thing, I think, because so many communities have this person. It's often a woman that lived out there off the land, tough as nails. People would come through, like this woman had like 5 husbands come through,
and they just expire, and they're
they expire. They can't hack it, or but it's an archetypal thing apparently.
Right. No, I can totally do this. I feel like I needed to go see that play.
Well, if I remount it, I'll let you know. It was great. We sold out every night, so it was very popular.
I bet you did. But Sarah and I will come. We've never been to that. We've never been to that.
We have big plans.
You got it.
We have a lot of stops to make. Victoria, Vancouver.
Right. Well, what's your favorite play that you've ever been in?
I think that one was my favorite because it was a play that had been performed like 15 years or 20 years before, and I remounted it, and the story was close to my heart, and it was kind of magic. Even though it was a community theater play, but
So you directed it and you also performed.
You got to do in those small towns, you know. You can't.
No.
You can't afford
you make the lights were going, and do you have enough
lighting,
butter for the popcorn machine?
No, Well, my family all did that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. I love that.
Yeah.
No, that's the way it should be. That's the best, right?
Right. That's the heart of it, right?
Yeah.
It is. Love that. Like one of our questions here is like, how did you get into acting? We clearly answered that. You were
I think
born.
we got that one. Yeah.
You're literally born to do it, right? That's super fun. What's the name of the theater in your little small town? I might have to like look this up now.
It's called the Clackwit Sound Community Theater because it's in Clackwit Sound in Tofino. Yeah, and it's still they're not doing too many plays there right now, and maybe until I come back, but they still do hold events and musicians come through and they have movies and stuff like that. Yeah.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
That's perfect. Yeah, Dara's over here going, next stop, Carlo on Broadway.
I love that. Yeah.
Yeah, if you did a Broadway play, what would you love to do?
What would I love to do? Man, I don't know. I think I'd maybe some like a classical, like an Arthur Miller or something like that.
Oh yeah.
Or maybe a fresh take on something.
Right.
You know. Yeah. There's this guy, Lucas Nath, I think his name is. He like does new spins on old plays. He did a Doll's House. Imagine Doll's House Part 2, something like that. I think would be really cool. But yeah, I'd like to do anything besides a musical, unless I don't have to sing. If I'm a spirit carrier or something, I do that.
Are you the non-singing theater guy?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Right.
I'm a single threat.
So no dancing, no singing.
No. I'm not very threatening.
You weren't up for the triple threat award.
No.
That's okay. That's a whole different group of people.
Yeah,
right?
And they're there, and
you love them.
Yeah.
I have one of those.
There you go. Yeah, there you go.
And they're spectacular, but that's a whole different thing. Well, I love that when there's a theater background. I love watching actors that have theater backgrounds when they're in movies. I feel like you can see that come through in how they bring their characters forward. So, for some reason, it's just like you have that like depth. There's a little more depth of storytelling when you come through theater, right? And so,
yeah, I think that's true. Yeah.
Right. So that'll be fun to watch for that. I was just saying. So, also, you've been in I think 33 episodes of Chesapeake Shores, right?
Mm-hmm.
And everyone's got like one thing that they haven't done. And my one thing I'm going to confess is I haven't watched Chesapeake Shores.
Oh.
And so I was like telling Sarah, I need to like dive down that and just start at the beginning.
Cute. I'm a season behind. I haven't watched the final season, but I've watched the others.
Okay. This is the best. The last season's the best season.
The best season?
Yeah.
I've heard that. I've heard it got back to normal.
Yeah. Well, yeah. It takes a left turn too. Yeah. It gets a lot more dramatic. Yeah.
Oh.
Fun to do. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we're here in the chat. They're over there. Like Stephanie is like, season 6 is so good, right? Stephanie is like, season 6 is so good.
Yeah.
It's a must watch. Yeah. Dara, she is well versed in all the shows. But it's like I don't know why I haven't watched it because I've watched all the other series.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised you haven't, Julie.
I know, because I do kind of dive, and I'm a diver. I'll just watch them all. So I guess that'll be my next
I think
dive.
you get sidetracked with like Yellowstone.
I did. I got sidetracked with Yellowstone. 1883, 1923. But now I'm going to be like watching. I'm going to be like, there's Carlo, right?
Yeah.
That'll be perfect. Well,
so Sheila has another question for you. She's asking about your indie project, Broken Angel. And do you have what's its status?
We just went to it's been going around film festivals right now, which kind of do with indie stuff, and then I think it's going to be on TV. I don't know, probably in the spring or something, and on Canadian TV. I don't know about American TV. I'm sure it'll get there as well. It's from a really talented director, Jules Kustach, and she's a go-getter. So I'm sure it's going to find it's great those TV screens, and hopefully I'm going to work with her again soon, because and it's very different from this Hallmark Universe. So it was really nice to have that balance as an actor. And it's full of some really amazing actors. So
we love that, because we are not your typical Hallmark viewers, because we watch a very wide variety of shows and movies. So I always like seeing actors we see on Hallmark in other stuff too,
right?
Just to see that other side of them. So I think
what's the thing that you both enjoy that's the exact opposite of Hallmark?
Like a show?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll give you my first example would be a few years ago. My favorite shows were Game of Thrones and One Calls the Heart.
Right.
You couldn't get two different shows. It's not the same anymore, but I just feel like that's a good.
Yeah. No, that is good.
I love Yellowstone. So 1883, 1923. And like my favorite character in Yellowstone is Beth Dutton. And yeah. If she could have one more drink in her hand and one more cigarette and sound more like Marge's sister from The Simpsons, she just got that. Oh my God. And it's just like, she's a beautiful disaster, but she's like true, and she'll take you out like there's no tomorrow. And I just kind of love that. And that's like my opposite end of
I can see her in a Hallmark movie, though.
Oh, I can totally see her.
Just coming in as the sister or something. Maybe in that one with the cake stand. Maybe it'll be back in a Hallmark movie.
That is just it's such a strong character for this beautiful, strong woman who's a complete and total disaster, but she is just like true as can be. Like, when she's going to get ticked off, right? It's like, oh, you're messing with that, and that's not going to go well.
Yeah. It must be so fun for her to play that role.
Oh my gosh, it would be amazing to play that character.
Yeah.
So that's my opposite end of the world, right? Some days I want to know where the ending's going. And some days I don't need to. And some days are the Hallmark days, and
right? And I think that's true of a lot of Hallmark viewers now, especially more and more that they're it's not just Hallmark, but it's they're using it, like when you said, like, it's Christmas time, or you want to know what happens or so. And that's cool, because that's opened us up to so many more stories. So it's exciting to be a part of that.
Right. And there's also not a lot of shows or movies that you can put on, no matter what you watch, if your kids are around. So then if you want to have something on, you're very limited in your options, even though there's so many good options to watch, but they might not be family friendly. So it is kind of nice, like, for me to be able to just put on the channel.
And you have to worry
one of the similar channels and not need to worry if one of my kids walks by.
Right. Yeah. Totally.
There's so many reasons. Yeah.
I remember being a kid and watching shows with my parents, and like anything would embarrass you. So like any swear, any mention of anything, or like, oh gosh, why are you here now?
Right.
So how did you get into this little Hallmark universe?
Yeah. Through Chesapeake Shores. Yeah. I just auditioned for that, 100 years ago, whatever it was, 7 years ago. And then kind of slowly worked my way in, and they're very loyal, obviously.
Yeah.
And I think if they'll vet you and tell you're a nice person and you're not a divo or a diva, then keep working, because so that was my introduction. Yeah, for sure. And I think they've, while I've been here, like, they've become crazy popular too over those last, especially a couple of years, I think. So yeah. So I'm very grateful to be in the universe. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, no, I love that. Like, it's always interesting to see how the artist's paths come in and go into the universe. How did you get there? And it always feels like, it's like I started and then I just kept going, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of a fun story. Should we do some favorites here to finish?
You started. Go ahead.
Okay, we're gonna do it's not really a game. We're just gonna ask what is your favorite, and you can kind of tell. And our first one's my favorite because
Nobody knows.
no one knows how to answer because it's very much in your world. What's your favorite movie?
What's my favorite movie of all time?
Yeah, and you can give us a couple choices.
I just answered this question today. I really like Into the Wild. My favorite movie. The movie they've watched the most times is The Big Lebowski. So I guess that's
Yes.
my favorite movie.
Yes, good answer.
I don't know. I feel like I have a favorite all the time. Yeah, I'll stay with those two.
Yeah.
Okay, good answers. What about a favorite TV show?
Or
whatever you're binging.
I think my most recent one is Severance. That in Succession, and then all time probably The Wire.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Really need to watch Succession because everybody is giving that answer.
Oh, it's so good. I think this is the last season though, so maybe you can just wait till it's over and then binge.
And then binge it.
Binge all the way through.
Yeah, it's so good.
Sounds so good. All right, favorite food, comfort food, or and a healthy, like a guilty pleasure and a healthy food.
Guilty pleasure, pizza. A healthy food like fresh caught salmon or lamb shank.
Nice.
I don't know if that's healthy, but yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's lean meat.
It works. So when you're not acting, what are you doing? What is your favorite hobby or activity to do?
I like to be outside, so just walking outside or hiking. I like to read. I like to meditate. A little bit of travel when I can. Go to the theater when I can. Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah.
Lots of choices. Do you have a favorite vacation location?
I think where I'm from, we have, I think just being there is my favorite place to return to. Otherwise, I don't like to. It's fun to go to new places, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
Any place new.
Any place new. My partner's a real world traveler, and that's her MO is like always go somewhere new because it's a big place. So yeah, and I kind of like that. Yeah. Maybe once I've done everything, then I can start.
Then you can give a favorite. Do you have somewhere you're looking forward to going sometime in the future? What's on your list?
I'd like to go to Prague soon. I think I'd like to do more of Asia. I mostly traveled in Latin America. I've done a lot of Latin America. So yeah, Asia and a little bit of Europe. I'd like to do that pilgrimage in the Camino.
Right.
Oh, I can't remember what it's called. The Camino.
Where you walk.
Yeah, where you walk forever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, one of the gals I work with did that for her 60th birthday.
No way. Oh, cool.
Yep. She's got 7 kids and a husband, and she said, see ya, and went and did it by herself.
Oh, really?
Amazing. Yeah. Yeah. My dad and I are talking about doing it. So that'd be great. He's 70 something.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that'd be really fun. And I think you can pick and choose how much you want to do.
Exactly. And she stayed at the hostels along the way, and you kind of get like with a group of people you're kind of walking the same as you, and she said it was really cool.
Good for her. That's amazing.
Yeah, she loved it. I feel like you'd love it. Like if you go with your dad, that seems like something beautiful, actually.
Yeah, I think it'd be great. I'm sure we get on each other's nerves, but
well, then you just make a movie out of it, right?
Yeah, or I walk faster than he does.
But I feel like it's like you're walking and you're like, and there's all these other people sort of around, and sometimes you're by yourself. I don't know. I feel like you don't really get on each other's. She just loved it. She thought it was amazing.
There's actually a movie, Emilio Estevez, I think, directed it, and his dad's in it, Martin Sheen. And it's about that. If you're interested, I think I watched that a couple ago. My camera is called The Way or something.
Yeah. Oh, that sounds really cool.
Yeah. So funny fact is, when I was a little kid, my dad would get stopped on the street and they would think he was Emilio Estevez.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
They look nothing alike now, but like
then
in the, 80s,
Really?
early 90s, they looked alike.
Wow. Would they yell at him, Emilio?
Every once in a while, you just get that person that would stop. And, once you get close, you realize it's not him, but
Right. Oh, that's cool.
it was funny. I kind of forgot about that until just now.
Oh.
Here's another hard one nobody can answer. What about a favorite band or singer?
I guess, it's kind of a boring answer, but the one I always go back to the most is Bob Dylan.
Oh,
That's the one I keep listening to over and over again. And he keeps making music, so.
right. And
Yeah.
he's got his music library is
Endless.
forever deep. It's forever deep. And every song has 5,000 verses.
Yeah, that's right. And there's like 100 bootlegs of it. And yeah, I don't know. So I probably only listen to 70% of it, but that's the one I listen to over and over again.
Yeah, Bob Dylan. Fun fact, do you know what his real last name is?
He's from Minnesota, isn't he?
Of course he is.
His last name is Samuel Clemens.
No, Zimmerman. Bob Zimmerman.
Bob Zimmerman, right.
Yeah, that's my fun fact, right? Sarah's just laughing. Of course, he's from Minnesota.
Every podcast, something always goes back to Minnesota.
Oh.
He's the one that brought the Bob Dylan.
I know.
Well, who is from Rhode Island? Who's the most famous musician from Rhode Island?
Musician, I don't know. I mean, we have like Viola Davis.
Oh, do you?
She's from
She's
Woonsocket, which is the next town from me. I
Really?
think it's Viola Davis.
no, she's not sure.
I think so.
I didn't know that.
Now I'm going to just do a quick Google so I don't.
Who's from Rhode Island? We have such a big music scene out of Minnesota, so that's a lot is produced out of here. Prince.
We have the Farley brothers, right?
Oh, the Farley brothers. That's good right there.
I
That's
used to
cool.
wait on one a lot at the bar I bartended at. I can't remember which one.
Isn't Family Guy from?
No, it's not. Yeah, it's not Viola Davis. Hold on.
Okay, I didn't think she had Rhode Island vibes.
Yeah, no, she could be more.
I don't know why that name.
I don't know either.
Anyway, there's somebody big, and maybe it is her. Because now I'm like, I swear it was
Who's
her.
from Rhode Island?
Must be real big.
I mean, we're such a big state. There's so many of us.
It's a tiny little state. It's cute though. It's right there on the East Coast. Which I want to say,
Sheila, look.
Sheila.
Catherine's like, I'm looking. I'm almost positive it's her.
Stephanie's like, I'm claiming Samuel Clemens. He's from Missouri. Right. Well, that was fun. So we should probably kind of pull our act together and finish up. Your movie is, I'm going to try to remember, when The Wedding Veil Inspiration. Your inspiration, right?
Yep.
Okay. And that, so it's like expectations, inspiration. What's the last one this round?
Elevation.
I'm gonna have to look that up. I don't know. Your poster just got posted like this morning or yesterday.
Infinity War, I think.
Right? We'll figure it out. And then
It's gonna bother me. I've got to figure this out.
It
is Viola. It is Viola.
Viola.
I got scared that I was wrong. Yes.
It is Viola.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, the last one is Journey. That doesn't feel right, but sure.
Journey?
We're little, but we're cool.
Wait, Journey's from Rhode Island, or that's the
Journey. The last movie is Journey.
That kind of it doesn't match. Yeah.
One of these things is not like the others. We got expectations, inspirations, and Journey.
Where's the station?
See, but if we want to talk music, I'm all in for a Journey discussion. But anyway, so that's this weekend, Saturday, 8-7 Central, on Hallmark Channel, and you play Mateo.
Yes.
And there is we've already seen it. There is an incident
at the veil.
You're touching the veil.
Yeah. Gonna be related. Yeah, I think it's really fun. And the chemistry that Casey and I have, I think it'll be worth watching. And the veil is there as well. So yeah.
It'll be magical.
A little bit of magic.
Yeah.
It'll be perfect.
That's good. Well, thank you so much, Carlo, for being with us. Hang on for a second. We're going to sign out and we'll say goodbye off camera. So thank you everybody for watching.
Bye, everyone.